Dan Magill, title, Find the Right Words. Find the Right Words, Dan Magill.
Thank you. I visited a Toastmasters club in Ireland last year, and I saw a lady practicing a eulogy speech for her dad. As she spoke, there were a couple on the front row laughing. Afterwards, I asked them why they'd laughed, and they said, "Oh, we weren't laughing at Judy. Not really. It's just, well, she gives that speech about 5 times a year for the last 35 years. Her dad died in 1985, and of course that's really sad. But she's been to the district final with that same speech 4 times. Well, typical Toastmaster, I thought. We all love to milk a good speech when we find one, don't we? Contest chair, Toastmasters and guests. I'd had a brainwave. With all my experience here at Toastmasters, I should be able to write some prize-winning eulogies for my friends and family when they finally go to those Toastmaster clubs in the skies. And, well, there are loads of them up there, by the way. Oh yeah, there's even a speaker's bureau. Okay, up there it's called the Sleeper's Bureau, but still. None of their speeches are very good, though. Well, they're all ghost-written, and their body language, non-existent. Now, my problem is that when I'm giving a speech, I normally need about, 3 years to write and rehearse. And I wasn't going to get that kind of lead time with a eulogy. But then I realized I didn't need to wait. I could get started now. I began with my family. I made a list of the most likely runners and riders, did some research, checked the stats, and cracked an algorithm, all to try and work out whose eulogy I should write first. And when I was done, I called my dad. He could be dead by the time I finished dialing at this rate. Oh, hi, Dad. Daniel. I'm just writing your eulogy. Never know how soon we might need it. Also, I kind of need to have it up to competition standard. Silence. Anyway, I thought maybe you could remind me of some happy times we've shared together, and I'll jot down a couple of recommendations, things for you to work on next time. Next time? What are you talking about next time? Honestly, you've changed. Ever since you started hanging around with all those hip, young, well-to-do Toastmasters, you think you're too good for us. Hip, young, well-to-do? It's just as well this isn't a video call. Here, speak to your mother. Hi, Mum. Oh, hi, Daniel. Did you remember to wish your dad a happy birthday? Yeah. Are you sure? Because he's just come downstairs with a copy of his will and a bottle of whiteout. Anyway, Mum, I just wanted to ask you about your eulogy, if that's okay. No, that's all cleared up now, thanks, Daniel. Doctor says I can get back on the whiskey. Mum, not urology, eulogy. Things I'm going to say about you at your funeral. Was she taking the... I didn't need their help anyway. That night, I wrote a eulogy speech for them both. And if you don't mind me saying, they had district champion written all over them. Then I got carried away. And I started to write poetic eulogies for everyone I know. I call them dead talks. Eulogies worth spreading. First, I did the rest of my family. Then, all of my friends. Then, acquaintances I wouldn't even really class as friends. And finally, my fellow Toastmasters. By the time I'd finished writing, if anybody I knew as much as coughed in the wrong direction, I was there, ready to grieve. in 5 to 7 prize-winning minutes. A few months later, I was back in Ireland, and I went back to that same club, and guess what? Judy was giving the speech again. Afterwards, I asked her why she kept giving that same speech, and she said, "Oh, I know people laugh, and it is funny. It's just I'm terrified if I stop giving the speech, I'll stop remembering Dad. You know, I'd give up everything I own to be able to give that speech just once while Dad was still alive. But we never find the right words until it's too late, do we?" That night, I read over the eulogies I'd written for my parents, and I rewrote parts. I remember the day I moved away to London and Mum made me sandwiches and gave me money for gas, even though it must have been killing her inside to see me go. And when I told her I joined Toastmasters, and she said she thought that was a good thing because I had needed to lose weight for a while. I remember Dad teaching me to ride a bike, then drive a car. And when he took us all on a family outing to London, promising us afternoon tea and scones at the Savoy Hotel. But when we got there and he saw the prices, we ended up sharing a Mars bar on the platform at the train station. And I was glad I was remembering these things now, not so I could win a contest or give some perfect eulogy, just so I could try and find the right words while the right people were still here to hear them. And I know what you're thinking. I haven't really written any poetic eulogies for my fellow Toastmasters. Let's close with a couple, shall we? A Toastmaster finished his speech, but his chair was just out of reach. It would quickly unravel when he sat on the gavel, and the whole of the room heard him screech. One more before we finish. A disqualified speaker went spur and protested, "This just isn't fair." Seething with rage, he stormed back to the stage and strangled the poor contest chair. Thank you.